Welcome to the Smash Masters podcast, hosted by Stefan Eschi and Nick Priest. This is where we dig into the auto body collision repair field and talk quality repair methods and how the industry is always changing. Buckle up, it gon' get bumpy. What? What's going on? We switched places again.
Well, yeah, there we go. We'll swap back and forth all day, huh?
Whatever, you know how it is.
It is what it is.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody?
We already got Jason in here 7 minutes before we're commenting.
Jason's been on it.
Yeah, nice to have you in here.
Yeah, welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah. So we went to the Anson open house.
Oh, yeah, that was a fantastic freaking show.
I can't say enough. If you haven't gone, you got to go. It was great people to talk to and connect with. I mean, all those people that you want to connect with at MTE, but they're too busy in their tool, where they're selling tools, they're demonstrating stuff, they're busy with other people constantly. Here, they're just standing there with a beer, and just or not, if they don't drink. But it's nice to be able to just, hey, how's it going? It's like, nice to talk to you.
Yeah, there was giveaways. Yeah. There was truckloads of glue on the wall. There was raffles. I mean, there was Dave Schlott getting a freaking haircut for the Kevin Hellwood Foundation.
That's right. You could take some of his hair off for a donation. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think Danny Hacker. A bunch of people swiped at that. So
very cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, I had a great time. I mean, so I got to the airport and I had, I wanted to make it a fun trip. So when I was getting my rental car, I had reserved a Challenger or similar. I've always liked the Challenger. I've never been much for the muscle car redos that we have, but I always liked the Challenger and how they did that one. I got there and they said, "Oh, you reserved a sports car. Here are your choices." Nick, what did I show up in?
Freaking Mazda Miata. I was like, what are we doing? We're going to have to go to Ulta and get beauty supplies now.
Oh, man, and that thing was kind of falling apart, too. It was making all sorts of noises. Somebody beat on that thing. My choices were there were 3 V6 Mustang convertibles and a Camaro convertible, and then there was the Miata. And if anybody knows me, they know I like little handling cars, so that was absolutely my choice. I chose the Miata.
Chose the little Miata, and getting in and out of that thing was total disaster.
That's right. You went for a ride in it. We went to Craig's house and that.
Yeah.
We got Cass in here. She posts as CT Body Tech on Instagram and I believe on others. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Nice to see you in here.
Got much more of a following on Instagram than I have.
Yeah, it's got a pretty good. Yeah, pretty big following. It's pretty cool though.
So
doing some cool stuff too, by the way. So.
Yeah, I'm impressed with her progress and the things that she's tackling in the amount of time that she's been doing this. It's great to see it because there's got to be some mentorship there, and I love seeing that because it's what my career was lacking, and that's why I felt like it took me 10 years to get to ATEC status, because it was trial and error, trial by fire.
Yeah, really.
So Nick, Lethal Dent Company.
Yeah, this old dog right here is just keeping it right along. Yeah, it's going well. Calls, estimates, jobs every day. Just finished up a hell job. Got another one to go look at in the morning. So, got some lined up later on in this week. It's doing pretty good.
Great. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, there.
I bet. No lethal dents with Nick around. That's great. Jason's in there.
Yeah.
That's I love the company name. I like the logo and everything. That's why I have no problems wearing the shirt.
Yeah, I don't even remember how I come up with that. I was just, like lethal dents, slaying dents. It's
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I like it. I love it.
getting out there and tackling stuff, man.
Nothing like the name of my LLC.
Mm.
Did I just say that?
Hmm.
I started an LLC. I'm in between full-time positions at the moment. And during this time, I'm starting a side gig. I got my website up for the most part. Got some of my previous work in there. And yeah, so that's my big announcement. My Dent Shop LLC, serving Connecticut. Um,
Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
Nights and weekends guaranteed.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, you're gonna do nights and weekends. That's gonna be pretty cool.
yep, yep, yep. I'm using this time to get it going, and yeah, it's really it's been a fun process getting that set up.
Oh, I bet.
Um,
I bet it's difficult to kind of get it started and rolling, but once you get it going, it seems to fall into place, pretty quickly.
yeah, I mean, I'm working a lot longer amount of time. Just working on creating videos for my social media, creating a website, and that kind of stuff. I still need a logo. I still need to get some stuff going, but one step at a time. And I'm already on Google, so I can accept those Google reviews. Thank you,
Hmm.
Cass. That's I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's new ventures for sure, right there. So,
Yeah. Little freaky, but but it's okay. So Cass, if your shop needs any PDR work,
this guy right here.
let me know. Um, anyway, so yeah, why don't we move on from what's going on, go into the main section? We don't have a guest tonight, but
Mm-mm.
for a good reason. We actually were suggested by this guy right here, that comment. He's like, I would love for you guys to go on and just answer questions and just do questions and answers.
Yeah,
So that's why we're here.
yeah.
So I'm going to start some things off with some questions that we always get, like constantly on our social medias. Um, what glue do you use?
Yeah, what glue do I use?
Hold on with that question for a second. Let's play this video and then we'll get to the question that just got
Yeah,
in
let's see
there.
what we got.
Okay. Here's one of my videos. You all know what my least favorite question I get here on social media is? What type of glue do I use? The answer is I use all glues. And the real answer is it's not about the glue, it's about the process. You can go look up Kiko's 6C process. They have it on YouTube for free. Check out that. You can get Kiko training. You can get Camauto training. I love that sound. But really, my best advice to you is to head to gprmasterclass.com. Use code UBreakIFix for $200 off, and you'll be pulling with glue just like me and Gene in no time.
All right, so we've got. What you're saying here in this video is it's not really about the glue, is it?
No, no.
So what glues have we used? We've used Dead on Dent. We've used Anson. We've used
A
there's
lot of Ansons.
a lot of Ansons. The
Yeah.
what is it? The Tequila Collision Flex Glue, Anson Hard Pull.
Mm-hmm.
We've used Pull Perfection by Dent Reaper,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really good glue, by the way.
What about
Um,
an OG collision?
OG Collision, that
That would be Cam
Cam
Auto.
Auto.
Yeah, that's my OG right there, and that's what Kiko sells. Uh-oh, I think Nick froze up. So, Kiko actually does not make any of their own glue. What they did is they found out that the easiest way for them to to get their stuff their marketing going is that they sell Cam Autos collision glue and they sell tab weld. And both those glues are great, and they have different kinds of properties. Let's see if I can, we'll see if he comes back in. They have different kinds of properties. So in general, there's two basic kinds of glues out there, and they each have kinds of their own variants. Okay. Cass says she uses Cam Auto and Worth. So, oh, hey, Case. Nice to see you in here. So with those two kinds of glues, and you can find many different kinds of glues in each category, but I like to say that there's collision glues, which are more slow setting and more flexible, so that they stand up to vibrations. So when you're pulling on the panel, you can use a hammer or knock down and work your crowns, and those glues are meant for that. Then you have your faster setting, more brittle glues like tab weld, like Anson hard pull, and those glues will set up fast, but they will pull harder. They don't deal with vibrations that well. So if you pull on that tab and you're tapping something, it's gonna pop right off. And also if you aren't dead on, so if you pull a little bit to the side, it's gonna pop right off. It's about straight pulls for those more brittle glues like that. Let's see if I can answer something in here. Jason's got a good question. So how do you guys prepare for slowdowns as a technician? So what I can say is I'm going to answer that a kind of a different way. One way I am motivated as a technician is by having another job lined up behind what I'm working on, waiting for me. And that job has got to go just as much as the one that I'm working on now. If there's nothing past my current job, that to me is slow. And I'm going to make sure I have something to do for the time being. So I might not work as fast. That's from this viewpoint of an hourly technician. So I have every meaning to get jobs done fast and efficient. But if you have nothing for me to do after this current job, I don't like standing around. So I'm going to, for lack of better words, I'm going to milk this job. So that's just how it is. Let's see. Got another question in here. I have a question. So I've been hearing that all auto body places are slowing down. So is that going to be a big problem in the future? I went to an auto body shop this year. It was called Nixon Auto Body. They laid me off because of the big slowdown. Now I want to keep on going in the field. I don't know what I can do now. That's all. Hearing all. So there are some that are definitely slowing down. But again, like I said, I'm in between full-time positions, and I've been looking at a lot of places, and there are a lot of places that are not slow. So maybe it's a trend that's starting. It hasn't hit everywhere yet. But I'd like to, can't post comments to some destinations. Well, that's unfortunate. So I'm not seeing everybody's comments. It looks like if you're on my personal profile, I might not see it. I don't know. Can you guys tell me, on those of you who are watching on Facebook, where you're watching? Are you watching on my personal profile, Stefan Esche, or are you watching on the Smash Masters page? Because that'll help me. It looks like one of those I'm not seeing the comments from, and I don't want to miss anybody's questions. What's up, Daniel? There's another auto body technician turned PDR. But to get back to this, honestly, you just have to keep looking. Smash Masters page. Okay, so I'd advise everybody who's watching on my personal profile to head over to the Smash Masters page, Smash Masters videos, because I don't think I'm seeing all the comments here, and I'm gonna have to talk to StreamYard about that. But let's move on. I have another topic. What's a good starter kit for PDR? For really quick, I'm going to invite and make sure that Nick is getting back in here, because this is the Smash Masters, not You Break I Fix. I'm going to make sure he has the link, so at least he can come in from his phone if he needs to. Okay, so what's a good starter kit? A good glue starter kit? When I get this question a lot from auto body technicians, they ask me, where do I start with this glue pulling stuff? The boss doesn't want to buy anything, but I want to buy something. Here's an Amazon kit I found for a few $100. Should I buy it? Before I dive into this, we actually had a PDR technician make a great video on this, and he posted it online. We asked for his permission to show it on the show, so here I'm going to show it to you.
All right, so hey guys, look, I'm a dent guy here, but I see a lot of guys in the body shop buying glue repair kits, which I love. GPR is very much part of the future in body repair. A lot of my buddies will get kits like this. I want to show you. This can do the job, right? And they seem very convenient and everything. I mean, this is a decent slide hammer, but it's stuff like this that really pisses me off, all right? Look, how it looks cool at first, but honestly, you have to spin this entire head to adjust it, this kind of nonsense. I mean, it's just not a good product. And what I would say is, do yourself a favor and go to a PDR specific retailer like Anson PDR, and they're going to be able to give you a way better options, and you can probably even call them and have questions, and they can point you in the right direction. Kiko products, Cam Auto, all that, they're there at Anson PDR. But I want to show you this. Let's look at the difference here. Look at the adjustability. When I want to adjust the height of this, it's just a simple turn and then a squeeze. These fit on all different parts. Here's another great thing. This is a PDR specific slide hammer. It doesn't look that much different from this guy, but here's the deal. I've got a spring dampener. So if I want to, I can have a really sharp, tight pull, or I can soften the pull. Get that spring dampening, stop your pull. Well, if I need a little bit more weight, well, check this out. This guy goes right on there, screws on, adds a pound or two to my pull. This is adjustable. I can make it longer, so I have a longer throw. We also have battery operated glue guns. You're not stuck to a wall. You can move this along with you. Have a cart of glue pull repair products. This uses Makita batteries, but you can use them on all batteries. DeWalt, Milwaukee, whatever. So, I say all this to say is, don't fall for a lot of the gimmicks that some of the auto body places will do it. These aren't going to get you, and it's going to make you pissed off with glue pull. PDR people have been doing glue pulling for a decade plus now, and it's okay to learn from them in this realm of body repair. So don't be ignorant and don't be closed-minded. This is something you can learn from the PDR side of the business, just like we have learned incredible off-dolly techniques and Fairmont method techniques from you guys for decades as well. So don't waste your money on this stuff. Just spend a little bit more money on the PDR stuff and you'll be way happier and way more successful with it.
Hey, Nick's back.
Yeah, apparently my internet crashed like it normally does, so I'm on the phone right now.
Yeah, that's something that can happen. It's
Yeah.
it's all right. We kept up. I kept it going. Dan Kraus. Yeah, this is a great video. It really was. That's why we made sure to get it on the show. It really spells out exactly what I try and tell everybody. Don't waste your money with those Amazon kits. And people will argue with me to this point. And you're like, yeah, but I just want to start it. I can't spend all that money. It's like, but you're spending more by buying the crap that doesn't work and then buying the expensive stuff after because you realize the crap doesn't work.
Yeah, buying those Amazon kits, man. They are cheap, but you'll get cheap in return. Where you need it the most is where it'll start to fail. You'll get, a couple of uses out of it, and then you just got to chunk it, man. You got to go on, and that $60 or $80 you spend, you got to redo it.
What's up, James? You have both. It's worth the money. A lot of people have both. Because a lot of people try that cheap kit first. One of my coworkers did. I was super lucky. I went to the boss. I said, "Hey, we need this Kiko kit," and he said, "Okay," and he got it. So I got to start with one of the best companies, and that was that really opened my eyes to what you need in order to get good glue poles. So
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I mean, I started with Amazon. A lot of my first few videos I put out on social media were with Amazon tabs and pullers and stuff.
and what's amazing is you were able to make them work.
Uh, yeah, but it was difficult though.
Okay.
It was difficult. It wasn't easy. Like I can glue a Kiko tab on, big glue tab, and I'm comfortable with it staying on there and putting massive amounts of pressure on it. But with those Amazon tabs, it might stay, it might not. It's like I've had the teeth where they grip onto it. I've had those pull straight off.
Dan started with an eBay set.
It's it's fine. I mean, if you want to, but man, I'd really rather advise you to go a different route.
Davian, personally, I did take a lot of iCar. I never paid for it myself. I felt like this is something that's good for the shop to be iCar Gold. So, I mean, it's up to the employer to pay for that. When you're an independent contractor, it's a little bit different. But as an employee, full time employee, that's their responsibility. And I'll tell you, every place I've started in, they say, "Yeah, we'll get you iCar Platinum."
Yep.
16 years in, I'm still not platinum. And I think I need 2 classes for non-structural and maybe 4 for structural. Uh,
I think the last class I took was I was brushing up on rivet bonding. That's the last one.
they absolutely like it if you have iCar. I have no knowledge of any OSHA tests. You're talking
No.
about you're talking about ASE. I have a few ASE tests. Those are much harder. Okay, so for collision repair,
Yeah.
you signed up for 37 classes.
Dang.
Oh, you're in for a lot.
Yeah, those
Oh,
sit in front of the computer and answer questions, man, those are they can be
iCar.
something.
Okay, so I have a little bit here. So I think I said this once on I went live with Jason X on his TikTok about this, and it what I think about iCar is overall it's a money grab, but it started out as something good. So I feel like it still has some value. But when I tell people to look for an auto body shop, I don't tell them to look for the iCar Gold shop. I tell them to look for the manufacturer recommended certified shop because that's a whole nother level of training, equipment. iCar
Yep.
is iCar is in the business of making money. So they will require you to do repetitive things. A lot of their classes teach the same crap. So I think that's what Daniel's talking about here.
Yeah, yeah, they do. They kind of I don't know. They go through the motions and stuff. And a lot of times even if a tech can't really get some of it right, or not the best of it, they'll still pass them along and say, well, over time you'll get it.
Yep. Yep.
And
I witnessed that in welding classes.
yeah,
Everybody passed,
yeah,
no
everybody
matter
passed,
no
but not
matter how you
everybody
did it.
can lay a nice weld or stitch the way you need to.
That's right. That's right.
It does take time behind a gun. It does take time to learn a lot of this.
You definitely did, Case. You got lucky like I did. That Kiko kit is um, top notch.
Yeah, you guys with the Kiko kits, man, you got lucky.
Like the welding test. Yes. So I mean, I did the sectioning test with a bunch of people, and it was weld bonding. Or no, it wasn't sectioning test. It was squeeze type resistant spot welding test, and it was weld bonding. So I did the correct ICAR procedure for the glue, cleaning off the primer on the inside. Oh, he's back on his computer.
Yeah, that's
Very
what I
good.
was- Oh my God, dude, that is such trash internet. Oh well. Anyway,
Anyway, so I'm doing the squeeze type, and what they do is they give you a section of rocker. You have the inner, the outer, and the inner structure, and you have to weld all this together. So I clean off the primer on the inside, and I cover it with glue, and I squeeze it down with cover all the metal with the brush, and then I put another bead of glue, and I put it on. And everybody else I worked with didn't do that. None of them did. They just put one bead in there and just squished it together. But we all passed.
Mhm.
But they did it wrong. Okay. Like I said.
I guess some glue in a place is better than none. Maybe I don't know the theory behind that, but
Yeah, sure.
I like to make sure that it's done correctly. If all
100%. If you're going to pay to send me to training and they teach me a way to do it and they tell me why that's the right way to do it and it makes sense, that's the way I'm going to do it from now on. I mean, you paid for me to learn this stuff. Why? Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Oh, Jason, I'm going to get a lot of that Kiko set soon. Okay. I'm wondering why you're saying that. Maybe I'm forgetting something. But yeah, I mean, we can move on to a couple other of the questions that we get pretty regularly on our social medias. You're still here, Nick. I hear you. Okay. So a lot of people, actually, I got a question recently from a young technician on my TikTok. And actually, I get these questions all the time. It almost breaks my heart because these guys are starting in the industry and they're coming to me with questions, and they're frustrated because they're in a shop situation where they're stuck in a position and nobody wants to help them move up or something, and then they come to me for help.
Yeah, the other body tech, the one that's across the freaking aisle. Hey man, can you come help me out with this job? I'm not really sure what I need to be doing here. So
That is a good point. But what if they're stuck in prep and they want to do body work?
well, yeah.
So that goes back to our last episode with Jason, where, my point is when you come into a job like that, an entry level position, they tell you got to prep these cars and you have to do it really well, and you go, yes sir, and you learn every little thing and you start prepping and you become the best prepper in that shop because that's your mentality.
Yep.
Well, now they're not going to move you up.
No, because they're like, well, now I can't find a prepper as good as this guy. So
Right. So now we're talking about body shop culture here, where that's upon the shop ownership to inspire a culture of progression.
there's not really a training position that allows you to move up from there.
Especially in a flat rate shop, right? When all the body techs don't want to take the time to train somebody.
Yep.
Right. So the thing that I'd like to promote here is you really have to create that kind of culture. And that's the thing. As the prepper, you're not going to influence your shop owner that much. So really, you left with one option. What Daniel said right here.
Tell them you're leaving. Yeah, a lot of times that has to be the case.
But don't do that without having something else lined up. So interview at other shops. Tell them, don't be honest with what you're doing, how you are. Tell them you're a good worker and all you want to do is learn.
Yeah.
And if that shop wants you to know all this stuff before coming in, that's a bad sign. They also don't have a culture of progression and moving people up the ladder. Stay away. Stay away from those places. And keep searching. Take your time. and find a good spot.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out 100%. I've started in a shop and went, oh shit, I got to get out of here.
Yep, that'll happen too. But that's part of doing body work and finding where you fit in.
How do I do this? How do I do this? I can't, I can't do it. I'm trying to do the Andy Patrick where he does all these, I don't know. If you make symbols with your hands, the StreamYard will like do stuff. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm making a fool of myself here. Just for you, Andy.
Just for you, buddy.
If you start prepping, you're expected to paint after that usually. Yeah, you have to, yeah, I know I'm doing it wrong. Yeah,
I've seen shops where the body man did every step of the prep work, and the painter, only thing he done was painted.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I've heard of that.
There's body man will tackle almost any position in a shop if you let them. I guess I don't know, but every shop has a different standard operating procedure and a different way that a technician needs or wants to work. So, like the comment earlier, sometimes it doesn't work out. Well, that's true, but that shop wasn't for you. It might be for the next guy, but you can move on. And
yeah, you do everything, Case, don't you?
Yeah. I've seen a bunch of shops that they're pretty much doing everything in there.
Yep. No, it's it can happen. So, I mean, but to the point where you're prepping, I mean, it's about communication. Mm-hmm. Talk to management, talk to all the body. When you're a prepper, okay, if you're a prepper, maybe a time comes where you look for the next car to prep and there's no car to prep. So you got a little time on your hands. First thing you do, clean up your area, organize and stuff. Now you're done with that. Still no car to prep. What do? You know what I did? I went over the body side and I just watched.
Hey, what are these guys doing over here?
Not creepily from a distance.
Yeah.
I went into their bay and I'm like, oh, wow, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Mm-hmm. Knowledge, And then the boss walked by, and I'm paid hourly. The boss walked by. What are you doing? I'm learning. And he goes, good. And he kept going. I mean, you got to take it upon yourself. Nobody told me to go over there and learn. It was all me, and I knew that was where I wanted to be. So I made it happen.
So what's the next step if somebody's in a prepping position like that? What is the next? I mean, you explained it like going over to the body side and getting knowledge and stuff, but how does that look like after you've started getting the knowledge and you started making that transition? What does that look like?
It looks like bumper repairs.
So bumper repairs, we're doing welding plastic, we're sanding bumpers down, getting them ready. So basically still kind of in the prep and small repair areas, kind of, right? Or would you say it's something different?
No, you got it right on the head. I mean, so one step I had between body repair and when I was doing prepping and detail buff at the same time. And then they offered me a teardown position. Now, we could go on and on about how body shops shouldn't have a teardown department, at least in my opinion. But I learned a hell of a lot being the only teardown guy for this production shop. I mean, big production shop. So I took apart all the cars. And so, I mean, there's a stepping stone. So if you're offered that, you can learn a lot doing that. And the natural progression from teardown is body.
Yeah.
Because teardown is part of body.
Yeah, teardown is part of body. And teardown and hang up to me is really crucial and really one of the more important aspects of doing collision in general. Yeah. Making sure that, like you said in the prep, make your area nice, clean up, have a good spot.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You learn a lot, even in prep.
Yeah. So, You take that same thing to tear down, and you're documenting the damage on the vehicle. So you're writing everything down. You're organizing your bolts, organizing the area in which your good parts from your bad, and
Creating your own standard operating procedure for your job.
yeah, yeah,
Because
and
that's up to
everybody's going to
every
have a different one.
technician.
Yeah,
Yes. What goes on in your bay is your control. I mean, unless your company has standard procedures that literally dictate how you do a tear down and the process, which I've worked in that. And actually, it can get really smooth, really fast. I think it was a shop where Mike Anderson came in and just gave all the advice, and the shop owner took all the advice, and that
mm,
shop ran smooth. Um, Something else. Yeah, Andy says he learned a lot by watching when he was running his business out of a body shop. Oh yeah, for sure.
helped you
You
with estimating too. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the bonus of being in a collision shop versus never stepping in there. Like we're going out into the PDR world and doing paintless dent repair and getting those jobs. But a lot of that stuff is overwhelming had I not been in a body shop and understand that aspect of it. So I could see that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, we're gonna keep getting these questions in. They're rolling in fast now, so bear with us, guys. I want to show all these auto body shops that I want to keep working in this field and that I don't want to give up. That's great. It seems
Yeah.
like they want to hire someone that's been in the industry, and those are the shops you stay away from.
Yeah.
Now I'm stuck looking for a place that is hiring, but it's harder searching. I don't want to give up. My best advice to you: don't just go to the ones that are hiring. Go to every body shop in your area. Walk in and say, "Hi, I want to work here." They don't
Yeah.
have to be hiring in order to need help. And being more of an entry level position, you're cheaper. So they might have the money for you and don't even realize it. So, and
Yeah.
they know if you want to learn, they can turn you into a huge profit maker for the company. So,
Well, and not only that, you make a point, and even though they're not hiring, the company itself may not be hiring, but painters and ATEX all over the world are looking for helpers a lot of the times. So you can just because the company itself isn't hiring doesn't mean you can't walk in and get to know some of these body guys, some of these painters, and yeah, and learn off them, see what you can fit in with, and yeah,
great
that's
point.
also a good way to get started in there. Like he said, tear downs. A lot of people are looking for a tear down and hang up guy. Tear down, hang up, and maybe do some small bumpers. I don't know what your skill level is, but you can attack it kind of that way if you need to. So yeah, you don't need to give up on it just yet. You just have to maybe change your approach a little.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Started off as a detailer, you have to communicate what you want. Yeah. And if you can't get it, watch and learn. In the beginning, I couldn't even do bodywork side. I was only allowed to tear the vehicle down.
Hmm.
That's what it is. It's baby steps. Baby steps. Nobody learns this overnight. Nobody learns it in one job. You have to keep getting more and more and more and more, and you're gonna fail. And when you fail, you got to show that you're persistent, and you're gonna try again, and you're
Yep.
gonna learn from that failure. Maybe you do it again a couple times, but not more than that. You have to learn from your failures and move up. It's
Yeah. So when you're tearing cars down, every car you tear down is going to be different.
Yes.
And until you get familiar with the makes and models, Toyota door handles come out a certain way, Lexus come out this way. When you're starting this, though, every car is going to appear totally different to you. So that's why the organization is key. If you can't find where your bolts, like where a bolt went, then you can narrow it down. Like say you have a bolt set up here with only door. It was just say like the right front door, and then you have one for just the bumper. Well, the bumper section that you organize here doesn't go in the door, so it has to go in the bumper. And that's where you call an ATEC or somebody that's more skilled in that to kind of, give you a little hint or help you, show you along, and that's how you'll learn. You'll know that next time because you spent time trying to figure this out instead of having somebody just do it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to use those flat tackle boxes, not the big one with the many rows, but the ones that are one. You open it up and you get all those adjustable sections.
Yeah.
Love those. That's my favorite. Actually, a body shop that I used to work at forced me to do that. I used paint cans before that. Now I love them. I can't work without them. They just, the more organized you are, the reassembly goes faster. You make more money.
Yep.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yep. That's easy. I use bags personally. So
To each their own. You
Yeah.
know, I just found that bags took me a little bit longer to use. Maybe you got it down to an efficient system that I didn't figure out.
yeah.
It's Jared's in here. Good to see you. The full blueprint or repair plan is most important upfront process. Lots of money to be made and liability exposure to reduce happens there. So I've never had an upfront that did blueprinting for me. So I learned to do it myself. I did it myself. I take the pictures, I put them in there, and I use it to fight with for my supplement. So it's that's a great skill, and to the same effect, picking up on the little nuances of writing estimates as a technician makes you more money because you
Yep.
can write that. I've had shop owners call them pizza toppings. We put the pizza toppings on the estimate to make you more money. It's like, they didn't put enough pizza toppings, so here's some pizza toppings on my supplement. You know, like I need more than just product cost for seam sealer. It takes me time to put it on, put some time to put the seam sealer on. You know, things like that. You have to pay attention to that kind of stuff.
So that's why you like pizza so much. I always wondered, but I get it now.
I love pizza.
I get it now. Yeah.
I'm from Connecticut, and I'm not far from New Haven, Connecticut. Anybody who knows anything knows that New Haven, Connecticut is the pizza capital of at least this country, probably this side of the world.
Nice.
I'm gonna say that.
Nice.
Andy says you need a ring light. It's just off to the side, Andy. He's got one.
I got one. Hang on.
We're a little bit. You don't need to adjust. You're okay. He's just busting
my
chops.
internet, man. My internet got messed up. It's a whole disaster.
And then he's currently eating pizza.
Yeah.
Case wants to make sure everybody bags their nuts. Thank
Well,
you.
you got to do that. You got to make sure that you get those in the proper place.
If y'all don't follow Case on social medias, your videos crack me up, Case. They really do.
Yeah.
They really do. And I love how you're just so unique, because that's kind of how I like to be too. I like to be unique. I tell all these shops that I don't care where they put me in, just to start in the field. Okay, take any position, but make sure they know what you want.
Yeah,
So
you kind of got to tell, what are your strong points? What are your strong suits? You kind of got to start tackling that before you just, if you don't give them any direction, they don't know what to do with you.
right. You
So,
have to. You could say, "Yeah, sure, I will buff if that's what you need, but I definitely want to learn how to do body." Excuse me, and that's you have to communicate. Don't shy away from that.
yeah, absolutely.
Eldar's in the house. We love this. We really do. So I mean, if you've been paying attention, we actually said that we'd only do this every other week. Both of us agreed that we could probably fit this every week. I mean, we're almost like itching for it every Monday. We love coming on and talking to you guys and having guests on and stuff. It's been really cool. Andy says hi, Eldar.
Heck yeah. Eldar in the house.
Can you tell me, was that North Haven Auto Body, Davian? I'm from Connecticut. I don't know if you knew that.
Mm.
And I worked at North Haven Auto Body for 5 years and left there on good terms. Awesome. Yeah, you learn a lot being a blueprinter because that's it's really what you're doing is you're educating an insurance adjuster who's never worked on cars. That's what blueprinting
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And it's in
Your
order.
blueprints, yeah, they tell a story. You need to make them tell a story in pictures. And if you can't look at your own pictures and see what kind of story they're telling, then those are the areas you should work on. And that's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work that goes into being able to do that efficiently and do a good job at it also. So,
I can't believe Davian worked at North Haven Auto Body.
mm,
That was so. If you heard me talk about a well oiled shop, that's what I meant. So I mean that's the place. No place is perfect, and I had my reasons for leaving. It was on good terms, but it was definitely the best running, highest quality shop I've ever been in, and I don't think I'll find one that beats those, honestly. So kudos to my old workplace there.
so that one had a lot of stuff you liked, right? So down from the blueprinting to the materials you use to collision estimating in general. That was just a nice place to work, huh?
Yeah, I'd say it more stemmed from the standard operating procedure of the shop. There was an actual laid out plan,
Hmm.
and each part of the plan had its kind of checks and balances. So you were checking on the department that touched the car before you, and it they could track down each job when something happened who didn't do their job
Yeah,
because of this standard operating procedure. So in that sense, everyone was held accountable. Does that make it a tough place to work?
absolutely it does. If you're being held accountable, then yeah, that's
100%. There's
yeah.
no loosey goosey. There's no, oh, no worries. It's like no, you could get chewed out for missing something. So
Hmm.
double check your shit. Get that quality good. And no matter how good you got it, generally it came back from the QC guy. Oh, couldn't we make this a little better? And sometimes they were so nitpicky that they'd bring it back. Can you make this a little better? Oh, yeah, no problem. Just leave it right there. They come back in 10 minutes. Is it better? And did you do it? I said, yeah, I did it, even though I didn't touch it. And they
Yeah,
look at it and they go, oh, yeah, that looks better. And they drive it
right.
off. So, I mean, that's how nitpicky they were. But everybody loved the quality that came out of the shop. And if there was a customer up front complaining about quality, I mean, honestly, it's like you're wasting your time. We're the best shop in Connecticut. Get out. We don't want you as a customer. And I never witnessed that myself, but I believe that was the policy. And I can't agree with that more. I can't.
That so. Um, did they ever hire new people when you were there, or they were all the same people the whole
Whew, I
time?
was there for 5 years. I definitely saw like 100 people come and go.
All right, so writers. All right, so we were on the topic of like leaving stuff off, or making sure that you do something right or coming back. Did did you ever do anything to the new people, writers or QC guys, just to test them and see if they were up to par or not?
Oh, sure. Sure. Sure, absolutely. You give one supplement where you're like, I need a bumper retainer, and the next one you say, I need a bumper stay, and the next one, I need a bumper bracket.
Yeah,
It's all the same part.
yeah,
It's like, but there's, yeah, absolutely. There's certain things. I mean, do you have an example of that?
yeah. So, I love aftermarket fender liners. I wish I could just install those all day. That would be like a heaven for me. Not really, but I was putting a fender and fender liner on, and there's a little kind of like a foam insert that goes in between the
It's like an
door and
air
the front
dam.
fender. To keep the noise out. Well, it was kind of easy to put in. So this new manager had came to the shop, and I was like, "Man, I'm gonna leave that thing out, see if that dude even notices." Just to I'll put it in anyway, but I'm gonna check him and see if he notices. He found it, so I was like, "Dude's good with me." You ain't gonna get much by this guy. So yeah, I would occasionally test people like that just to
I
see.
get it. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So like I do. I test them just by normal work, you know. So I expect my riders to fight for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say fight, I mean if that insurance company isn't calling you to say, why did you write this? If they just approve your supplement, and it's not a really easygoing adjuster, if
Yeah.
they just approve your supplement, you didn't write enough. You didn't. They should be calling you to ask you why you wrote such and such. And then it's your job to fight for it, not to sit and grovel and go, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Insurance. You're right. They don't need 8 hours. They only need 2.5.
Yeah.
And then not tell the technician. You know, it's like, meanwhile, the technician thinks they got 8 hours till they look at their paycheck. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah, or they pay you for that 8 hours. They go ahead and write it through, and then the supplement comes through, and then you've got a whole checklist of back flags, and you're like, "What?
Now,
Oh,
I've never dealt with that since I'm hourly, and I can't imagine. I can't imagine coming in on a Monday morning finding out you're behind already.
yeah, it's a disaster." So you got to go through and well, what happened? I thought we went over this. Yeah, but they're only going to pay this much for that, so we didn't get enough on this, and like, no.
What happened to our whole process where I showed you that by writing 27 hours on this panel, we're saving them money instead of replacing it? What happened to that? Why didn't you fight for me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And most shops, the writer makes more money if they write more, so it's in their best interest to write more.
and I've been to a shop also to where, and I've told you this before probably, but they had stuff like fenders capped at 3 hours and quarter panels capped at 8 hours repair.
Just
So
based on contracts.
just based on DRP contracts. So if you mess around, and you go into a shop that signed one of those babies. I mean, you're
You're
not
making
going to do any
less.
good there anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so
It's
it's always best to well, like the comment earlier talking about getting a job and going in. It's not necessarily an interview about you. You go in there and you interview the shop too. What does the shop have to offer you when you get to a certain point?
no, even starting out. Once
Even
you've
starting out.
established what you can and what your experience is, then it becomes their job to sell you the shop. And you have to be careful because sometimes they like to lie. Actually, every time they like to lie. So you have to take what they say with a grain of salt.
Uh-huh.
But if they're not trying to sell you the shop and they're just grilling you about you, you should be worried
Yep.
because they should think of themselves as a good place to work. They need you.
Oh
They
yeah.
need you
Yeah.
just as much as you need them. So this is a teamwork, and they should be selling you the shop.
Yeah. So if you're going to a shop, just as an example, you go in there and you're trying to get hired. Oh no,
No,
insurance. No, let's not talk about that. But on
no,
the other side of it, going to a shop, you're going in there, you're looking for a job, and the guys are talking about how quality and how high of a standard they do, and you get to looking around, and um, there's no resistance welders. There's only a MIG welder sitting there, and I'm like, well,
no measuring system.
nothing. So how are you going to do a high quality OEM repair uh, and feel good about it with just a MIG welder and a piece of string?
Not very easily.
You can't nowadays. You just really can't. There's
Yeah.
things that you have to do now.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah. So always go in and interview the shop as well. Don't just let them interview you.
No frame machine. So my first shop was a little mom and pop, and we had pots in the floor and a pulling ram, and that's all we had.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that. So I wouldn't go into a place like that permanently, for sure. But man, can you learn stuff from an old school person like that? If they're friendly enough and they're paying well, it might be worth putting the time into a shop like that. You learn different ways of doing things.
Yeah, yeah, you can get around some stuff.
But you're right, Cass. You're absolutely right. So, I mean, we can go on to our next topics, but before we do, I'd like to talk about our tool review since we're coming up on an hour here. Hint, hint. Peel Wheel is allowing us to announce a new product. What?
Yeah, new product. So what kind of product is this? They come out with a peel wheel, which is fantastic. It's absolutely a must-have tool.
Oh, it's my favorite eraser wheel. I always grab. I'm still on my first one. I've had it for 6+ months. I used it on everything, and it still looks like the same size as when I started it. I bought a replacement wheel, and it's hanging in the back of the toolbox. I bet it'll be there for a long time.
Yeah.
But
So
there have been comments about how some situations it's a little small. So the company has decided to pretty soon, not yet, but pretty soon, the XL version will be. I have a video here, an XL peel wheel. Check it out. Check it out. So I just unmuted my mic. So I just want to talk about see how the wheel clearance is wider than the drill. That's really I can't unmute you apparently, Nick. So,
yeah.
There. But sometimes you need to get that extra diameter from the drill. And normally now what I've been doing is grabbing my 3M caramel wheel when I need that. But it makes a big mess. It doesn't work on painted plastic parts or the back of moldings. Well, it just eats up plastic. So having this XL peel wheel in the toolbox, you don't need anything else. You got those two peel wheels, you're good.
I mean, good on that.
I do like the big Crud Thug thing for giant areas. But, I mean, every tool has its place. You know,
we're talking mostly plastics and little detailed pieces, though.
Right.
A lot of hard to get places, not necessarily down a gigantic side of a open air vehicle or nothing. So, yeah, mine. I noticed mine using it. It was kind of some of the spots were a little easy or tedious to get to, but that XL is gonna do that no problem. So,
yeah. It's a necessary. If you've got the small one. You already know how great it is, so you're already sold. If you don't have either, what are you waiting for? I mean, it's like $30. It'll change your life, and it'll last forever. I mean, so ongoing. I think every month now, Peel Wheel does a post on their social medias where they say, "Send me a picture of your worn out Peel Wheel, and we'll send you a brand new one."
Yep, I've been seeing that.
How many people have gotten new ones? I don't know if Peel Wheel or Ryan is in the chat right now, but I could tell you, nobody. He's told me nobody has gotten one, and I think, Eldar, you're gonna try it out. I'm sure. It's this Eldar has probably one of the first ones ever made, and he's still working on his first one. So it's a no-brainer. So it's for the return on what it costs. It's by and far worth it. Very worth it. And it's a great company, small business owned by a body technician. The Peel Wheel was invented by a body technician and a very quality-oriented body technician.
Absolutely. So, Ryan's a fantastic collision repair tech. So,
I mean, he's right up there with all of us that are trying to implement PDR into our repairs, just purely based on the quality mindset. And I'm highly impressed. Support small business. Peelwheel.com. I'm gonna make a quick banner here so it's up there. Peelwheel.com, and I would appreciate it if you use my link. Um, you just add that U brake I fix 47 on the end there, and you know, helps me out.
It gets you a little bit off too while you're at it. So I mean, you get a peel wheel at a discount, and yeah,
Yep.
that's cool.
So I mean, do you want to move into another topic that we had lined up here, Nick? Well, now that we're done with that.
Uh, it's really up to you. How long do you want to go? What do we got in the chat? Do we still have people coming through, or
Well, I got one more
all right? Let's go one more.
just question I get all the time, and it's PDR. How did you get started with PDR? And I'm gonna ask you first.
All
How
right.
did
You
you
want?
get into PDR, and how did you learn it?
Well, I got into PDR by buying a. Yeah. Well, I'll see you later. Have a good night. Got into PDR, glue pulling, actually GPR is what they call it now. I got into that by just talking my boss into buying a kit online, a Kiko kit, and we got it, and we had a vehicle, aluminum vehicle that I tried it on,
Okay.
and yeah, that's how I got into it. That's how I mean blindly, really. It was in 2018, so the stuff wasn't as how would you say easily accessible now as it is now. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yep, that's
Uh, it's impressive that you did. I was always impressed. I was over here learning GPR with the Kiko kit, and I'm watching your videos with your Amazon kit
yeah,
and ratchet straps to other cars and the beam of a building,
yep, yep,
and you're doing these things that are blowing my mind. So it always clearly you thrived in a glue pulling time when it wasn't easy.
yeah. It was difficult, and like I said, I started with the Kiko kit. I
Right.
started with I don't know if you'd call it a start. It wasn't like a starter kit. I think they called it what they call it a technician two kit.
Okay.
Come with the guns and the glues and tabs and a K bar bridge puller
Okay.
and a couple of glues. So yeah, aside from that, I didn't know the the glue gun had the not the temperature adjustment on there. So that threw me off. I didn't know where glue needed to be to pull its best or perform its best.
Yep.
Didn't know exactly how to clean the panel. I knew that alcohol would take it off, but
Yeah.
like applying heat and moisture affects it. All that stuff I had to learn, like through trial and error. So when I left that shop, yeah, that Kiko kit stayed there. So I
Ah.
went on and started purchasing some Amazon stuff just to kind of get it back going again. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you really can do a ton with that level two kit.
And
And
the L2E, I'm sorry. We started with an L2 in our shop, and we upgraded to the L2E. And the E stands for efficiency because it adds like a foam holder for all the tabs and a few more things on top. It really did make it more efficient,
mhm.
100%. So it's amazing what you can get done with an L2E kit and how fast you can get it done.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you can tell when something's missing too, or if you broke
Hmm.
something, you need to replace it. You can go right to it.
Yep.
So
Which, if your shop is the owner of the Kiko kit, there will always be things missing.
yeah,
It's
always.
unfortunate. I see videos of Eldar with his L2E that he has his personal L2E and everything's clean and everything's there. I'm like, oh, I wish I had my own L2E.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oy. Yeah, glue pulling is a lot of fun, and being in the body shop and glue pulling, we're doing that major damage and the major metal moves, and
Hmm.
it's really fun. I mean, that's probably how I got most of my following. I'd have to say.
Yeah, that and where you're in PDR and doing these giant pulling moves, you're not really so worried about if the paint breaks or if it pulls or whatever.
It
You
doesn't
know,
matter.
you're just reaching in there and just wrenching and grabbing.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
you
you
could
know,
really mess with it,
you're
and
making it
really
happen
learn.
because at the end of the day, you've got to fully repair this, and some of it can't be PDR. Some of it's trash beyond that, but you're still sticking glue tabs and sticking this and that and the other on it just to see what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and that makes it fun. That was fun. That's where I got a lot of my experience and what not to do actually.
Okay, okay.
So
So
yeah.
so what made you move from glue pulling to PDR then?
Uh, what made me do that?
Ha! Sorry.
Stress free up.
Good
Uh,
joke, Dan. That's good.
I don't know. I wanted a better, more efficient way. Like if you're using a stud gun, not necessarily a stud gun, because a lot of these new tools have multi-purpose welding capabilities. So if you're using any of these tools, it will burn the backside of them if you're careful. High strength steel, all these wiggle wires and stuff is harder to stick to. So I just wanted something that was easier, that you didn't have to work so hard for. And not only that, most of the stuff is either high strength or aluminum nowadays. So the little stud gun doesn't even work. So which way do you go? You go into, like I said, glue pulling, start that out, and then you got to have some rods and stuff to push through here. So um, yeah,
You start messing with a light and reading the light and then finding your tip and
uh
accurate pushes and finding out about leverage and different tools and what they do, tips and stuff.
yep,
Oh shit, I cracked the paint. Well, good thing we're painting it. And I won't
yep,
use that tip like that again, like so it's yeah, I mean, so I'm going to answer the question at the same time. How did I get started with PR? It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, we got a Kiko glue pulling course taught by Gene Fetty, who was training for Kiko at the time, and changed my life. And really, he gave some secrets about PDR in that class because that's how he felt the best way to teach GPR. So
hmm
by telling those PDR secrets, back in the day they were secrets.
yep,
Um, my mind was blown. And I'm going, oh, you just answered some questions I've wondered for 15 years. So it's just, and I even sent him that in a text, I think, that night. I'm like, Gene, you opened my eyes. And I didn't know I was headed towards PDR at that point. At least I was still amazed that I could get glue to stick to paint. So I just messed with it from there. But everybody who knows me knows I'm repair and quality oriented. And what better quality repair is there than PDR?
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the highest standard to me.
Hey, there's another handsome fella leaving the comment there, Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
Who
How's it going, brother?
Andy, who let these two are good friends, but they're fun to listen to.
Yeah, man, they're always at it.
You blow some holes in the stud welder. You better weld those back up.
Yeah,
I've known plenty of techs that go, "Oh no, I use fiberglass filler. It's okay." They're leaving the worms on the inside of the panel.
yeah. I think I come up with a pretty cool solution for that stuff.
Oh my gosh. All right. He blew my mind with this, and I still don't know what to think about it, but I can't find anything wrong with it. Go ahead. What do you do with the holes that you create with the stud puller?
All right, so I worked in a restoration shop for a little while that done lead work and stuff. So I was working on a doing like Daniel said, just blew a hole in, pulling it. So I ground it down, and I took some electrical solder, and I heated the panel up with a torch, and I just stuck that solder on there, and it stuck. It stuck and sealed completely. I used a grinder, I ground it down, and it worked.
I can't find anything
It
wrong with
worked.
that. I cannot find anything wrong with that. Honestly,
So
especially if you hit that with fiberglass on top, it's just
yeah,
I'm like
so
I can't be mad.
yeah, it worked, and it not only worked for that, but I tried it. I had a couple of more at the top. I tried it. it ran down. It stuck to all those. Now it won't stick to like if you got really big holes, but if the little pinholes that people are usually searching for, yeah, that was a fantastic job. What's going on, buddy?
Right. Facebook tried to get him for that guy. I'm not even going to say it. Now I'm going to stop mud all over these two guys.
Yeah, he's good at stomping mud on rugs. I heard.
Oh,
Caught in action.
oh boy! Don't make me block you guys. I can put you guys in timeout now.
Yeah, bring it on as a timeout now.
The timeout button. Don't make me test that button. We were just discovering that before the show.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, from there, from my glute pulling, when I decided that I wanted to challenge myself and learn PDR, I signed up for realworldpdr.com with Jim Mitchell. Any free time I had at home. This was the middle of winter, so it was cold out. So I took a junk hood home, a black steel hood, out of the metal dumpster. I brought one of my stands home, put it on there. Luckily, somebody had gone to the Ding King Institute and left a set of tools in the corner. I asked the boss, can I use those tools and play with the tools and do my practice PDR? He said, yeah. So I took them home. Very lucky for that. And I pushed dents. I made dents with a golf ball and a sock, just whack, 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 whack. And I just pushed them, and they looked horrible. But that's how you learn. And I had the Real World PDR up in there, and I said, and once I could take care of some, like, I'd say not deep stretched hail dents, but like medium ones.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I want to accelerate this. And I sought out a local PDR tech and basically said, hi, David, you're going to train me.
And
how much money do you want? I didn't give him an option. So this is David White, CT Dent Works here in Connecticut. And, he took me in and he did a great job. And I mean, he's like, what do you want? And I'm like,
I want to know how to get these dents back, not dented anymore.
I just want someone to look over what I'm doing and tell me exactly what I am, like, what I'm doing wrong. You know, like tip choice, you know, just little tips and tricks about leverage and stuff. I know it would accelerate my knowledge by being in this shop for 2 weeks. And that's what I did. And I came out of there taking care of some pretty nasty stuff. It takes me a while, but when you're learning PDR, you don't focus on speed. You focus on quality. Speed will come. That's what they all say.
Yeah, and repetition is key, just like Steve said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Keep it on. Just keep it. Do it again. Fix another one.
Sorry, I'm reading Andy Patrick's comment over here. So Ken says, I want to learn PDR, but the old man won't get on board with it, waiting for him to retire and bring it up again. Hey, take my experience and do it yourself.
Focus on drilling.
Oh man.
So you took.
I remember somebody telling you to reach out to him. Yes, actually, it was my being on the Ginger Bros Dent Show that they said, you guys said, you got David White in your area, you should do it. You should reach out to him. And I think it was the following week. I just basically, I sent him a message. I was like, are you interested in training? He's like, I'm open to it. So I was like, I'm going to stop by and introduce myself in person. And then I think it was a Wednesday because I got home and there was another Ginger Bros Dent Show. And I commented, I just left David White's a minute ago. And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on that path, man. So yeah, no, that was
a good path too, right? I mean, you did document a lot of it, so it's there to go back and watch.
I'm not posting all these comments, guys. some of these I'm not gonna do. Focus on drilling. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a good conversation for another time.
Behind every PDR tech, I'm sure is a really hefty, gigantic drill bit. That's just hiding, for that easy button. Let me just hit this, and there it comes. Out comes a gigantic freaking step bit.
Now, let me tell you, when you show up at the wholesale lot and they have a caved in door and all they say is, make it better, we're paying $125. And it's like, I'm drilling a damn hole. It just is what it is.
It's going to have a hole there, huh?
I don't agree with it, but, I don't agree with a lot of things that happen anyway, so.
Nobody drills yet. Anson sells 4 million plugs a year. Yeah, those numbers, those are fake numbers. Nobody's drilling.
Fake news.
Yeah, it's fake news.
Fake news. Okay, as a recap, I started an LLC. The Peel Wheel's coming out with an XL version.
Yeah.
And we had a really great show with lots of questions.
My internet died. It was fun.
Yeah. Nick had to switch to his phone. Very cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Is what it is.
I'm running off that Dixon, Tennessee internet.
2-inch. Yeah, dude, it's good. It's because you retail. I would never drill on a retail. Never, ever.
No, absolutely not.
Glue pulling is come so far that, it takes more time. Charge accordingly. Hit that glue repair button on the Mobile Tech RX or your Dent Mate, and get that extra 25%, or bump it up even more. Honestly, glue pulling.
Go find me started for my internet. Yeah.
That might actually get some money.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I can get a decent freaking internet signal here, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, Alex, thanks for coming on. I saw your comments before.
Yeah, the green tools. Yeah, I only use the green tools, man. I see a lot of people buying the Chinese knockoffs, and no, I've got some green tools personally.
Me too.
And that's all I'll use.
And what we mean by green tools, for those who don't know, is Mo Clamp, the OG of frame pulling and more. And Alex here runs their social media very well, and they're just great tools, and can't say enough about them. I'm officially in my vocabulary. Those are not tack and pull plates; those are glue and pull plates now. They're still great.
Yeah, I put that to the test. Actually, I did.
No, Steve, I don't, and apparently nobody wants.
No.
Oh man, we gotta get out of here before this gets ugly.
Yeah, man.
All right,
good. You guys had fun.
Yeah, no, it's this is awesome. I love that you guys are coming in and having fun. I mean, it's this late. We're already an hour 20 minutes in. It's a late night for a lot of you. So, for me, I'm on the East Coast. So,
yeah, you're 9.
Good thing I'm in between jobs, right?
Yeah, well, that's just for now. But
I'm gonna think. I'm good. You had a good show in there, Nick.
Yeah, I think we did. Aside from the
internet,
my old doll internet going out on me,
Yeah.
Pretty good show.
Yeah, you guys have a great night as well. Maybe they should, Steve.
Thanks for stopping in, man. Thanks for stopping in, commenting,
seriously,
stuff too, man. That's fun.
It means the world to us. It really does.
It's awesome.
And shameless plug. It's the wrong page. Sorry. Here it is. Smash Masters merch. Any of our pages have the Linktree link on them, and then you can find our merch site from there. Or you can type in smashmastersvideos.square.site, but it's probably easier just to use our link tree to find it. Get yourself some hats, some stickers, some t-shirts and stuff. More stuff coming on there. If you see us in person, there's a chance we have some of the stuff with us. So let us know, and we appreciate the support.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks again. So
Have a great night, guys. I'm gonna sign off now.
see you guys.
See ya. Bye bye.